Assalamu alaikum. How are you doing today? I'm fine. Today, inshallah, we'll discuss about developing effective study habits. How to get the study habit. Try to answer these questions. Did you ever stop to wonder what sets apart the really successful students from the average ones? Why do some students who appear to study all the time just get by, while others who don't appear to put in as much time and effort do well? Is it all related to IQ and genetics, or are some other factors involved? What do you mean by IQ? IQ means intelligence quotient. The truth is that success identified by knowing how to study. Studying. What do we mean by studying? Studying is a skill. Studying skills are fundamental to academic competence. That which we persist in doing becomes easier. Not that the task itself has become easier. So we can describe study skills as learning how to become a more effective learner. These skills enable students to study and learn more efficiently. However, they do have to be practiced and developed. During a student's lifetime of learning and study, they will have to learn, interpret, condense, and recall huge amounts of information. Clearly, the specific skill, tool, or technique the students will use will be determined by their preferred learning method, topic of study, environment structure, and the time frame they have available. What are the good study habits skills? Some of these skills are time management, self-discipline, concentration, memorization, organization, and effort. Inshallah, in this part, students will discover their areas of strength and identify their weakness pertaining to studying. Students will learn about their preferred learning styles, tips to organize their studies, and ways to help them remember what they study. The skills students will learn about in this part can be applied in other areas of their lives, as well their job or any activity that requires thought, planning, information processing, and self-discipline. Students will find that once, to develop effective study habits, the job of studying and learning will become easier. Instead of working harder, they will be working smarter. Let's to answer this exercise. Discover your approach to studying. Circle the responses that apply to you. The first question, my study habits are good, fair, poor. The second question, for every hour in class, I study a little, an hour, 2 hours, more than 2 hours. The third one, I have an organized plan and schedule for study. True or false? Number 4, I have a quiet place in which I study. True or false? And the last one, I usually approach studying with a positive study. Answers will be vary among you. In what ways could you improve your study habits? In what ways could you improve your study habits? For example, some of these ways: time management, discipline, self-regulation, concentration, organization, etc. your learning preference. Your learning preference, knowing how you learn best is the first step in developing effective study habits. Okay? So ask yourself the following. Am I more inclined to remember something better when I see, when I hear it, or when I experience it, or do something active with it? This is according to the learning styles: visual, auditory, or kinesthetic. Visual learners, visual learners, I see, I remember. Auditory learner, I hear, I forget. Kinesthetic learner, I do, I understand. For this point, don't remember, many students have a dominant style, but they will probably use a combination of all three when learning and studying. Let's know something about types of learning style or types of learners. Visual learners. Visual learners learn by seeing. They think in pictures. Vivid images help visual learner to retain information. Visual learners are good at puzzles, writing, charts, graphs, pictures, visual metaphors, etc. So, to improve as a visual learner, to improve as a visual learner, try to visualize what you are studying. Use color in your notes, for example, highlighters. Visualize what the instructor is lecturing about. Draw pictures and diagrams. Use mind maps in your notes. Use picture and graphs to reinforce learning. Learn from videos. Auditory learner. Auditory learner learns by listening. Think in words. Auditory learners are good at remembering the written word, speaking, listening, storytelling, teaching, and writing. So, to improve, as an auditory learner, try to listen to tapes of recorded assignments. Tape record your own textbook reading. Read out loud. Talk over ideas from class and what you are studying with other students. Participate in class discussions. Listen to edu tapes on the subject. A hands-on learner. A hands-on learner or a kinesthetic learner. The kinesthetic learner learns by doing, touch, and movement. Kinesthetic learner thinks in activity. Kinesthetic learners are good at hands-on elements, acting, building, physical activity, including coordination. So, to improve as a hands-on learner, stand up and move around while you are studying. Take frequent breaks while studying. Make use of your hands and write things down as you study. Use the computer to reinforce learning. Be physically active. Experiment with objects. Memorize or drill while walking on exercising. When to study. In this part, we will discuss 5 points about daily reviews, weekly reviews, pre-exam reviews, peak study times, bonus study time. What do you mean by daily reviews? Daily reviews mean study begins on the first day of the class. Successful students read and review notes before each class to recall information from the previous class and to warm up for learning. For example, reviewing your notes immediately after each class to reinforce learning or within a 24-hour period for best recall. Okay. Studying 1 hour immediately after a class will do more good in developing an understanding of a material as several hours a few days later. Okay, it's very important to revise from one time to another, okay, what you are studying and learning. Weekly reviews. Weekly reviews means at the end of the week, go over your notes for the week. This refreshes your memory and enhances better recall of the material. Don't forget that repetition is the key to remembering. Okay, pre-exam reviews. Pre-exam reviews means that it's very important to take from 3 to 5 hours a day to revise for the exam. It's very necessary to break, okay, the subject, okay, into small units and identify the day and date that you finish of these, okay, parts. Don't forget that the more active you are, the more active your study time will be. And a tired body only makes a tired mind. Peak study times. Peak study times, okay, this means that studying when you are at your peak, when you are more awake and alert. Study when you are able to absorb new information. Study when you are ready to gain new information. So, if you are a morning person, your best study time is in the morning and vice versa. Try to study when you are feeling relatively awake and alert. Okay? Bonus study time, the last point. Okay, bonus study time. This means that if you have extra time, it's very necessary to invest in this time in doing good things. For example, studying, for example, reading for entertainment and pleasure. Studying, okay, reading to increase your information, to gain more and more information, to increase your metacognition about things. To know everything, it's very necessary to know a thing about everything and know a thing and knowing yes a thing about everything. Okay, then it's very necessary to know a thing about everything and knowing and to know everything about a thing. Okay, let's answer this exercise. Fill in the blanks with the first thought that comes to mind. Okay, answers will be vary among students. Okay, I find number one, I find it easiest to study when. Number two, if a subject is really hard, I tend to, for example, I tend to break it down into small units and identify time and date and to finish it. Number three, the subject I most like to study is number four, the subject I least like to study is. Stay your intention. Okay? Stay your intention in this part. Okay, we'll focus on the goals. What is the importance of goals? Goals help us to focus what we need to do. Goals keep us in control. So goals must be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timeable. It's very important to ask yourself this question every time when you sit down to study. Why are you studying? And what do you intend to gain from it? Okay? And think about your goals. It's very important. And ask yourself, is this what I really want to be doing? What do I hope to gain from this? So you have to put meaning into your studies in order for them to be meaningful for you, to be meaningful to you. Organize your time. Let's discuss about time management. Organize your time. The first one, it's very necessary to plan your study time, okay, by leaving enough time for each of your subjects and more time for difficult and hardest one. For example, most college classes require about 6 hours of study per week or 2 hours of study for every hour in a class. Okay? Sorry, this. This is okay, very important. Okay. Prioritize your time. What do you mean by prioritize your time? Okay, prioritize your time. This means that, okay, sometimes, okay, it's necessary to delay specific activities in order to achieve your goals as a student. Keep a weekly and monthly schedule planner in which to record and recite due dates of assignments, quizzes, tests, presentation, etc. Okay, and transfer important dates from one syllable to another. Okay, weekly, monthly planner. Okay, it's very important to have a plan. Schedule study times daily in your planner. It's very necessary to be sure to plan extra time for long study sessions before tests. Schedule time for weekly reviews of all your notes from the beginning of the class to the present to be ready for the exam. Scheduling long-term assignments. Okay, this means that some assignments will span a week, a month, or even semester. According to the prioritize, you can do the most important one. Okay, what do you mean by prioritizing? Prioritizing, students need to list their priorities. For example, when considering whether to watch TV or study, students can look at list and maybe say, I'll just do one priority, then watch TV. Scheduling for students with jobs. This part, okay, this part related to the students who have a full or part-time job. Okay, organize. Okay, before, okay, to move to organize your study area, just it's very important to know the importance of scheduling, okay, in your life. Scheduling and is to keep track of how you use and your time. Balance, okay, make balance and okay, to make balance, okay, in your life. Organize your study area. Okay, this okay part and okay focuses on environment structure. So study in an area that is set up for serious study. Okay, for serious study. So it's very important to have tools for study, for example, notebooks, textbook, pens, pencils, dictionary, computer if it's necessary, and be sure that the environment is free from noise and distractions. It's comfortable, okay, you are controlling and for interruption like phones ringing, doors opening and closing, and people coming and going. Try to study in the same place every time. Okay, thank you very much.